Good morning, everyone. We are sitting in Gatwick, London, and we're going to make a flight to Amsterdam. I have a new Amsterdam modded airport that I want to look at. I actually haven't even looked at it yet. It may not be functioning correctly. I don't know. Anyway, I picked it up someplace and I don't remember where, and I hadn't flown to it yet, so I thought I would do so. We are back in the Fenix today because I've been having problems with the Fenix since I put it into the new PC, and I want to run it and see if I can straighten it out. So we're going to do that. Let's start getting ready. We're going to prepare our jet for takeoff. On the Fenix, we already have an outside generator to use, so we can quickly go in and go to our pad, our ESB, and if we go into Fenix, we can bring in our flight plan. We got about 76 minutes before we have to take off. That's probably just perfect. And then let's go down to ground services. This seems a little weak, doesn't it? Let's see if we can fix that. And click the brightness up a little bit. Is that it? I don't know what flight mode is. I'm going to have to check that out. And then let's double check, see if we get this in. All right, so there's our flight plan. Right there. And it's looking good. We're at Gatwick and we're going to EM. Sounds good to me. So we got 75% power on this pad here. So let's get in here. Let's see. We've got GPUs on and the chocks and cones are out. Perfect. And we're ready to get started here, I believe. So let's pop up here and we're going to start our batteries. Okay, we got that going. We have available generator, outside energy. Let's turn that on. And with that, we can start the process of getting these on, all three of them. We're going to give ourselves some air before the pilots get here. And let's turn our nav lights on, and we will arm our emergency exit lights. And we don't have passengers yet, so I'm not going to do anything with that, but let's turn some lights up a little bit. And then I think that's all I need for that. Let's pop back out. And I'm waiting for a hot cup of tea. We're also waiting for some things to heat up. We've got our GPS primary is lost. Those ADIRs that are the three knobs that I twisted up above, that's going to take a while. So we're waiting to those. I'm waiting for a cup of tea is what I'm waiting for. Let's come in here. This is functioning. Let's brighten it up a little bit. Just a little. These are already up. That's up. That's up. I wonder how I had this set up. Thought I had it set up for dark. Let's see. We've got the rudder trim is okay. Parking brake is on. The cockpit door is unlocked. This doesn't really function. I mean, the button does, but it doesn't seem to do anything. We're going to kick this up a little bit, though. Just a little, and then this one over here. All right, so we got our weather radar is off, and the wind shear is off. This is okay. Now that throttle kicking around was one of the biggest problems, my throttle in this plane. Oh, come on. All right, let's see if we can get this. I want to check something. Let's go to the config. Controls. It's on 5%. Okay. Not bad. Let's put that back. All right. And then, let's see. We need to start work outdoors. So let's come up here and we're going to request some catering service. And British Airways.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
I just selected the one that they suggest. So I've got a program running. I don't know if I've talked about this before. This is part of fly-by-wire. Now, as you know, I've been flying the fly-by-wire, which is a freeware plane. The A320 that I'm flying today is Fenix. I paid $65, I think, for this plane, but the freeware one is fly-by-wire, and they have what they call an installer. So when you download the fly-by-wire, you get an installer. It downloads the plane. You get to choose whether you want the stable version or the experimental developer's version. I'm sorry, and I usually use the developer's version. But the reason I'm talking about fly-by-wire when I'm flying Fenix today is that if you see all the jet planes out here that they're being loaded, they're moving around. See them all? Some of them will be taxiing out. They'll be taking off. They'll be landing on the runways. That's a program by fly-by-wire as well. And what it does is it injects planes into your AI. Because I'm not flying on a live server. I fly on AI. I just use the AI. So what I've done is I've turned the AI off in the sim, and I used the fly-by-wire one. And what it does, it has an injector that injects these planes into your sim, and it makes it very realistic. If I didn't have this whole airport would be empty, and it would just be my plane sitting there. So I'm running that today. That's still not available. Okay, so we've got 4 minutes left for this to be available. And I want this available before I put my flight plan in. So we're down to our last minute for this to heat up. And in the meantime, I went out and grabbed a hot cup of tea. So I'm ready to go. Let's request our fuel.
Refueling truck is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
All right, let's go into mass and balance. Hey, we're being charged. It's from 75 up to 78. Sweet. So we got 143 planned souls to board on the plane, 1,950 in cargo, and 5,580 planned for fuel. Here comes our
fuel truck is in position.
I'm just gonna say, here comes my fuel truck.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Gotcha.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
All right, so we're just going to ask the Fenix to load the aircraft. And we're going to do fast time. All right, he's putting the fuel in. Let's go back in and let's start up this process. So we're going to go to Eitsu, menu, flight init, and request the data. All right, it added all that in there. Sweet. Okay, let's now go into init and request that. Okay, and again, it doesn't add the flight number and all that kind of stuff, so we're gonna have to do that. I don't think it does. No. Okay, so it's pretty simple for me. It's just RSJ 53, and then the cost index, we're going to get that from the flight plan. Okay, it's 46. Looks like the fuel trucks are done. Let's that's what the plane's up to. The plane isn't the realism part, so let's kick back here, and we're going to, we got the catering completed and the fuel is done, and let's request boarding.
Boarding requested.
And we're jumping into action. Now, on the Fenix, they opened the back door and the front door. And I can't remember whether this one opens automatically or not. They do open up the cargo hatches by themselves. I do know that much. It's this one I'm wondering about, if I have to manually open. One in the back.
Do you want to board crew?
Yeah, let's load the crew.
Crew bus is coming.
A crew bus, so it's not going to use the gateway. Interesting. Oh, it's not. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind. Something else to look at, right? All right, here comes some luggage.
Pilot's boarding starting.
So, in the Gatwick Airport, you've got 51, which is where we're at, medium left and right. I'm thinking that had I been in the medium, we would be using this, but I chose the left. Now, the right is for the heavies. This is for the 747s and 787s. Also A320 though. So if I chose this one, I could have put myself right on there, and then I probably would be using this. Okay, pilots are on board, waiting for the crew. Let's go back in while we're waiting. And we need to get the cruise. Today it's going to be 18,000 feet. There's several ways to put that in. On this plane, you can just put it in. On some of them, you have to put FL like FL 18 or 180, and that would put it in. So that's in, and it puts the temperature in for us. So we're good with that. Now we can start putting the flight plan in. Okay, so departure first from Gatwick. We're going to be taking off from 26 left, right there. And let's see. That one right there. Okay.
Passengers boarding started.
And then there's no transition, so we just kick that. We're going to go to EHAM. That's our arrival. And we're looking at R right there, ILS, that's the one we want. Alright, loading up. Red for 1A. That's what we want right there. Okay, so yeah, there's no via. Okay, so no via. And insert that. That should be our flight plan. Let's go check on the cruise. Okay, the luggage is loaded. We're waiting for the passengers to finish coming on board. So let's go back. We've got our flight plan in. Before we check on it though, let's get started in here. So we got passengers coming in. We better put some lights on. I'm a little late, but better late than never. Put those two things on, and then let's start our APDU. I don't see anything. There it goes.
Passengers bus is coming.
It just takes a minute. Okay, so we're waiting for that. Let's turn the fuel pumps on in preparation of takeoff. The beacon on. Now, I'm a little late on that. I should have had the beacon and the seats on as soon as I started boarding. And the beacon should have came on right away anyway. Should have had that running already. Too many things in my mind. Okay, so let's see. How we doing? Another bus has just arrived.
Passengers boarding starting.
All right, let's take a look at this. Let's put our set this to plan up here, and then we're going to take a look at this. Make sure we don't have any breaks in our plan. We're going to follow ourselves out of Gatwick, over the ocean, and then coming into Amsterdam. And it looks all right, it looks okay. Pretty short here. We're gonna have to make sure we're down before we make this bend, because that's not very much room from here to there to get lined up with the ILS. So that's gonna be, but at least it's running. There's no discontinuities or anything. And just to make sure, I'm gonna run this again. Okay, there's Gatwick. So far it looks clean. Okay, looks good. Okay, we're going to go back to our init and the second page, and we need to put in our weights and balances so we can get that from here. Okay, so we got 57.4 and 27.7.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
All right, and then our block fuel is 55.80, so 5.58. Okay, and then boarding is complete. All right, those things will get put away. Let's finish this up. We need to go to our performance, and we're going to put one flap down. And then this one doesn't, like the fly-by-wire, it puts these in automatically. You just click on them. The Fenix does not. We're going to have to get that from here. So we're going to go to our performance page. And we're looking at Gatwick, and we are on runway 26L. And it's dry and clear, so we could sync that. And then the weather conditions we can sync, and then we can calculate. And just to double verify, it wants 2 flaps at takeoff. So we'll change that. And then there's our V1 and V2 and VR. So 137 to 139. Go back in here. We're going to change that to 2 flaps. And 137. Whoops, clear that. 137. 137. I think I put 139 in there. And now we put 139. 139. There. Alright. Should be okay. Let's put our temperature in though. Temperature is 68. Okay, 68. And we'll put that right there. And we're all set, ready to go. So let's go back up top here, and we've got our APU is running. We can turn the external power off, and then let's turn our bleed on and get ready for a pushback. So we're gonna do, yeah, we'll turn these lights on when we get the pushback. Trying to think here. We should be separated from everything outside and running on our own power. So, that being said, let's go back into the pad here and go back to Fenix. We're going to go down to ground services. We're going to take the GPU off and the chocks off and call for a pushback. So I can go nose left or nose right. It doesn't make any difference. So on this, because that's where we need to go. It doesn't matter whether I back up that way or that way. It ain't make no difference.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Okay, ready for pushback.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Alright, so she inserted the pin. Right there, you can see the flag. Here comes the tugboat. Tugboat. They call it a tug, it's not a boat.
Locking gear.
Lock the gear in. Alright, so we're going to go nose left.
Release parking brake.
Alright, parking brake is released.
Commencing push. All engines are clear. Start at will.
Alright, so we're going to go in here. We're going to turn our ignition on. We did put the bleed on. Yes, bleed is on. Alright, we're waiting. This number's going up. It gets about 25. We'll start the first engine. It says it's not an idle. Alright, let's go start the second engine. Well, it'll be the first engine in this case. Okay, we took that message off. Engine number 2 is available. Waiting for engine number 1.
Please set parking brakes.
Set parking brake now.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
And I think they've already got it. I think while I was dinking around that was available. So let's jump up here. Give them a confirmation.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine. Start. You can disconnect.
Okay, and while we're waiting for that, let's go over here. We're going to set for 18,000. Whoop. 18,000. Put it in. Managed. Our flight directors, both of them are on. Okay, we're looking at, we need to set our barometer. $10.24.
Unlocking the nose gear.
I missed what she said. Okay, 1024, these are linked. Okay, good. And then, oh, I think she...
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Alright, she just was talking about.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay, left and right are clear. Click on our strobe light, our wing light, our taxi light, and runway lights. Which side is she on? Oh, she's over here. All right. Okay. Waiting for the goodbye wave. There we go. We're clear. All right, so let me double check this because I think I left this. Yes, I did. left that in plan. We'll change that over. I think everything else is okay. And let's run down here. We can turn the ignition off. Everything else we'll take care of when we get to the runway. Go up to the pilot. We're going to start our chrono because we're going to be moving the plane. And here we go. Get out before that guy does. West is blue, east is red. That's cool. One thing I didn't do was make sure that my... Okay, they're working. Alright. There's outside. There's rear. Alright, that's all working. We're looking for 26 left, and that's 26 right there. Okay, we're gonna go that way. And it looks like we got a bunch of people in front of us. But we still have a little bit of work to do once we get up here. 26 left. All right, we're gonna stop right here. All right, looks like one of them took off. All right, let's go back in here. We're gonna close our door and lock it. We're gonna turn wind shear and radar on, weather radar. We're gonna put this in 2 flaps. Turn that to auto, that on. Okay. Up above, need to make sure the lights are on. All right, I think we're ready to go. Oh. We can turn our APU off. These big jets, like there's always something to do. Okay, I don't want to get caught up in his wash. Let's just wait our turn. Have a sip of tea while I'm waiting. And technically, we wouldn't necessarily have to wait for this feller because we can run right through him. He's not solid. And he's gone. We didn't even get to see him take off. Wow. Okay, so the other guy's gone. It's our turn. Take the brake off. Line up. Put our throttle in flex. $139 is our rotation. There we are. All right. Let's see if we can do our auto throttle autopilot. Put the landing gear up. And bye-bye Gatwick. Bye-bye Gatwick. All right, we should have a turn coming here. And then I'm going to put my flaps up. As soon as we make our turn, I'll put ourselves in climb. So far, everything seems to be working correctly. We do have a restriction. You'll see it in purple right there of 4,000 feet. We're restricted. It's on managed though, so it should know that. So we're supposed to have a restriction of 220 miles an hour too, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. So as soon as we get up around here, heading back towards the airport, which I think, well, we're tilted, we can't see it. We can see the sky though, look at that. Okay, so we're going to go into throttle and kick it down to climb. And we're okay, because if you look at this, we've got no warnings here. Right here, speed, climb, everything's hunky-dory. Autopilot's still on, auto thrust is still on. Everything's looking too good to be true. There's Gatwick. Bye-bye. On our way to Amsterdam. Red Hill. The tea is tasting just excellent. The perfect temperature. We're starting to climb now. Our next restriction is 5,000 feet. So we're going to climb to 5,000 feet. And you can see that right there. The 5,000 feet in purple is coming down. Again, we're in managed mode, so everything should be hunky-dory. Yeah, I apologize about the clearing, my throat clearing, but it's early in the morning. I started this flight very early, about 6 o'clock in the morning, my time. I'm on West Coast, USA. So it's a little bit early. I usually don't fly till later in the day or evening because it's more quiet. But it's quiet now, too. It's early in the morning. There's nothing going on. It's generally, I'm not up and about. Well, I'm up, but I'm not about. And as you can tell, my throat isn't exactly awake yet. But I'm anxious for this because this is a flight that I should have made over the weekend, and it's Tuesday morning now. So I'm late on this flight. But it was Mother's Day this weekend in the United States, this last weekend. And we were making merry on Mother's Day, and I didn't have a lot of time for working. Okay, 3 miles. We're going to be taking just a little jaunt off to the right. There's another jet taking off there. That's part of that program I was telling you about. I should put a link in the description where you can get that freeware fly-by-wire. It's really quite good. The plane is really quite good. It's not quite up to the Fenix, but they both have, good points and bad points. And to me, I don't really have a preference. Not really. I'm sure if you were a better pilot than me, you might have a preference between the two. Most people are using the Fenix that I've seen. I shouldn't say that, but I'm only talking about YouTubers. I would venture to say that there's just as many people, or maybe more probably, flying the fly-by-wire because it's freeware, completely freeware, and it's very good. And they're constantly working on it. And 7 miles to our next waypoint, where we're going to take about a 90-degree turn to the left. There's Nettlestead. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? I can't even see any clouds, maybe in the distance, but it is a beautiful day. It's overcast here, but I do see a little bit of blue peeking through. Over the weekend, we had a heat wave. We got up in the 90s, which is very hot for us. Very, very, very hot for us. But it was just the one day. The next day, we're down in the 60s. So, and the day before that, we were in the 60s. Three miles to our next waypoint. See if this hot tea will clear my throat up. And here we go. Flying EasyJet today. So if we take a look at our flight, this is where we're going. As you can see here, we just took that left-hand turn. That's going to put us up here and then across the ocean to Amsterdam. That's pretty straightforward. Not that long a flight, maybe about 45 to 50 minutes, I'm estimating. But if we go inside now, we can look at our chrono, and we're at 16 minutes of flight time. We got this chrono here, and then the one up top shows up over here, right there, that chrono. That's the chrono from up above right there. Don't have a clue why there's two of them. I can't believe how smoothly this thing's flying. I did make some internal changes into the software. Some things I was missing. Okay, so we're at 6,000 feet. We climbed just a little bit. There's Stoke. This is interesting area, all these little waterways and little islands out there. What are on those islands, I wonder? Is there anything at all out there? Because how would you get there? You'd have to get there by boat. I don't see any bridges. Just little dinky islands out there. Are there hermits living out there? Who owns the islands, I wonder? Government? Just curious. On the fly-by-wire, I put pilots in so you can see the pilots, but there's not option. I don't think there's an option for that on the Fenix. We're up to 9,500 or 9,600, 9,700. We're climbing to our cruising altitude. So I'm pretty sure that I can go in and let the flight attendants let the people loose. Now you do notice through the Fenix that I don't have anybody talking to me. The flight attendants aren't talking, they're not doing their thing. I do have another program that I was using that I haven't installed yet. I've been waiting because it's, I don't know. I debate whether it's worth having or not. But if you remember back on the old PC, I was using a program where the I keep calling them stewards, the flight attendants would serve meals. You could have people enjoying movies, that kind of thing. I'm not running that program. I haven't put it on the new PC yet. And I'm debating whether I want to or not. It adds a little bit more realism, but it's kind of a pain in the patoot. If you remember, I was juggling a half a dozen programs that are all trying to do the same things. I want to get everything up and running before I actually add anything more to the system. The fly-by-wire has it kind of built in. If you notice in the last few flights, they'll come out and they'll do their spiel about seatbelts and things like that, and then they'll come out and say that they're ready for takeoff and things like that. Fenix doesn't have that. We can look at the settings and see if there's anything.
Clear of conflict.
What? Clear of conflict? What? Okay, here's something I'm curious about. Why is this blinking? Oh, we're over. Okay, but it was blinking before we got over. Let's fix that. So we're gonna pull this out and go into standard mode. Here, let's do that. Put that in standard. We at 10,000 feet, I should have probably done that, and I wasn't paying attention. I was just excited that everything was working okay. No problems with the autopilot. No problems with the auto thrust. Although I do notice that we're out of managed mode. Let's kick that back. See. No, I can't do anything about it. Won't go back in. It's working. I'm not going to mess with it. We're still in autopilot, auto thrust. If we look over here, everything's good. There's no problems. Leave it well enough alone, eh? Wish we could see some passengers. That'd be cool. This is the rear of the plane, by the way. Let's see, we're 56 nautical miles from our next one, which is what? Redfa? So we're still 18,000. At this point, when we get here, I'm going to start coming down. As a matter of fact, when we get to Redfa, I'm going to start coming down. We are over the ocean now. Ocean to the right. A little bit of land just behind the wing. A little bit of land. We're right on the coastline. And a whole lot of water. I do have a cockpit. Cockpit. Jesus. I do have a cockpit view that we can look at, but no pilots. Oh, I was going to look into that, wasn't I? I don't think there is. Go to the EFB. I don't think there's anything like that. Sim settings. I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to look it up. Airline settings. Save default. Units. Right now I've got the unit, because I'm flying in Europe, I've got everything set to kilograms and meters. And normally I don't. Normally I'm flying in the US and I've got this set up at pounds and feet. I usually don't worry about the air pressure because I use whatever, it doesn't matter. It's an easy fix to fix that. The airframe, standby, I don't know what that is. Auto TCAS, all that is auto. Ice detection. See, there's no thing here for realism. Cabin lights and cabin visibility. Yeah, there's no. Okay, cold and dark is default. You can set it if you need to turn around with the APU. What that means is, let's say I'm going to fly today from Gatwick to Amsterdam and then turn around as soon as I deboard everybody, pick up a new passengers and fly back to Gatwick. That's a turnaround. So you can set that up with the APU, because remember, when we get...
Traffic.
What? What? Traffic? There is, right in front of me. And he's at 1,000 feet above me. I mean, literally, there's somebody right in front of me. I can't see them. I can hear them. There it is, right there. That was cool, in a way. The reason that's cool is because that means my TCAS is working. Did you hear that? Traffic. If we go inside and go down here, this thing that I always turn to auto and turn on, TARA, that's their TCAS. And that's a system that's on each plane that puts out a signal to anybody around it. So I've got a signal going out to other planes. Other planes have a signal going out to me. And so when you get close enough, you get that warning. Interesting. Good to have things working. We're dropping down to 16,000 before we get to Sulit. And if we look at the... We're supposed to be at 16.6 or 16,600 feet. I just went down to 16,000. Once we reach Sulit, which we will be reaching in about 14 miles, we'll be heading to Sugul, where we're supposed to be down to 10,000. So we're on our way down. Seatbelt lights are already on. So we're just waiting. It's a waiting game. We're waiting to see some land here pretty quick. 11 miles to go. Once we hit Sugul, we're going to be heading into land. We'll be turning to the right. At Sulit, we're going to be taking a little bit of a right turn. At Sugul, we'll take a little bit of more of a right turn, and we'll be heading into to the Netherlands. But at that point, at Sugul, we'll be coming down because we'll be close to the airport, or we'll be getting close to the airport. We're still over ocean. There's a plane in front of us. He's up. There's a couple of them, actually. There's contrails over here, too. All right, 6 miles. One mile, there we go, into our turn. All right, at this point, we're going to come down. I'm going to drop it down to 10,000. Okay, we're coming down. We're at 15,000 now on our way down. We got 17 miles, and then we'll make another right-hand turn and start coming down into the Netherlands. God, there's another jet up there. I'm glad we're not flying up there. We'll be in heavy traffic. Okay, so at Sugal, we're supposed to be at 10,000, so I'm on our way down. Lim, 10,000. And then we're supposed to go down to 2. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait. We get to Sugal, I'm going to come on down to 2,000 because I want to be down. We need to be at the airport. We need to be down to 1,300 feet. So I'm not waiting. I'm going to come down. Get a little bit closer here. And I am missing the cockpit and the passenger area. I'm missing the talking. I'm not hearing anything with this. I might have to put that other program in. So I've got my people in my crew talking to me. I got 3 miles to go, so I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get into that turn, but I'm going to bring it down. We'll bring it down to 3 for now. Just a gentle turn here. And we should be seeing land. There's some land. So we're getting close. That's probably our airport right there. Wouldn't be surprised, so I got to come down. Because we're getting close. Okay, we're going to go a little past the airport and then 180 degree back in. Or something like that. So we're coming down. We're at 9,000 feet now. Let's come in here and get prepared. Is that armed? It is now. Let's arm that. Let's go in here and put in medium auto brakes. To get ready. Let's check the barometer. Hasn't changed because we're still. What's going on with the barometer? Okay, 1023. And then down here didn't change. Let's change it to 1023. And it wants to keep it at standard. That's odd. All right, I'll leave it for a little bit. But we need to keep coming down. Good. About 28 miles out. Nice and quiet up here, huh? Ocean to the right. Ocean to the left. Some land. Land ho. 68, 6,800. I'm going to bring it down a little bit faster. And the turn's not quite 180 degrees. It's pretty severe though, and it's very close. Okay, we're at 4,000 feet. Take that off. Let's put it back. All right, we reset our barometer. It's 1023. That's good. We're coming down to 2,000 feet. I'm going to reset this autopilot over here from thousands to hundreds. And then let's kind of bring it down to about 15. Probably too low, but que sera, sera. Look at the Netherlands, isn't that pretty? Lots of farming here. We got a restriction ahead of 2,000 feet. We're at 2,200 right now. Slowing it down a little bit. As soon as we get into our left-hand turn towards the airport, I'll put the landing gear down. It's pretty country, isn't it? Alright, let's go back inside. Getting ready for a turn here in about 6 miles. Turn the localizer on. Three miles. Should start turning any minute. Here's our turn. Okay, we've locked onto the localizer. We're going to hit our approach. It's a Cat 3. That means we could actually do an auto landing, but I'm not going to. I've never done an auto landing. I've never let the plane land for me. All right, let's landing gear down. And there's our airport, our runway. Gonna flap down. Did we do it? Yeah, we did. Yeah, see, it's not coming down fast enough. Hush up. Okay, I'm flying the plane now.
Sync rate.
Shut up.
Sync
Shut
rate.
up.
Sync rate. Pull up. Pull up. Sync rate. Sync rate. Pull up.
I should have turned that off.
Pull up. Sync rate.
40, 30, 20, retard. 10.
Okay, so I'm off a little bit. I got a little over to the right. Kick on some reverse thrusters. So I didn't like that it was that I was too high. I didn't like that. So we're fine. Hit on some brakes here. All right, we're coming into Amsterdam. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is a modified airport for us. This is the first time I've seen it. I've seen it without the modification, so it's got a lot more lines on the ground, a lot more landscaping type things. So let's see if we can find us a spot to hook into here. Wow, looks like we're full up today. Let's see, we got something over on the right there. What do we got over here? What I thought was empty, there's a plane there, but let's go. That one on the end looks too small, but we'll give it a shot. If not, we'll come over to the right. Plenty of room over there. Alright, let's see if we can get in here. Pretty airport. Looks like they did a pretty good job of modeling it. Alright, we're gonna by guess and by golly where I'm supposed to be here. A little bit further on. And that reaches. I'm going to park here for a minute, see if this does it for us. Where's my engines at? Throttle. Let's put it in idle. Go back out here. I think we're okay where we're at. I'm not quite sure what the numbers mean, but I think I'm okay. So let's see about getting some power here. Ground services, GPU and chocks on. All right, let's go inside, and we're going to. It's available. Let's take it. Get some external power going here, and then that means we can shut our engines down. All right, so let's shut the number 2 engine down. Number 1 engine down. Lights off. Turn the nav lights back on. And let's take the lights off. Why is that one not going off? All right, looks like we're getting ready to deboard. Request deboarding.
The boarding requested.
Back inside. Let's flaps are up. Let's put that down. Yeah, put that down. Turn our wind shear off and the weather radar off. Unlock our door, which doesn't work. Let's turn the TCAS off and put it on standby. All right. Uh-oh. What happened? Let's go back in. And arrive. Deboard. Okay, we're going to deboard. Let's see if that toggles our jetway.
Passengers deboarding started.
Okay, let's put the toggle the jetway. That's odd. We've got 2 jetways here. I don't know what's going on. That's odd looking. Excuse me. The looks like the luggage and stuff, the cargo's coming off. It says that they're deboarding, but I don't see anybody. I can't see anybody in the jetway, so I don't know what's happening. We got noise now. We've got some noise. And yep, they're coming off the plane. We're down to 70 people on the plane, so it's working. We're just not seeing anything. All right, well, hey, another safe flight. Passengers are being deboarded. We're down safe. This is Amsterdam's new airport. I like it. I don't think there's anything else I need to do up here. I guess we could turn these off in preparation of a shutdown. $119 passengers of 148. They're coming out pretty quick. I like it. Usually it takes forever. Well, it was, I wouldn't rate it as 100%, but I'd rate it up to at least a 90%. Most everything seems to be working. I don't understand what's happening here, but it's maybe it's two programs fighting with each other, I suppose. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do...
Do you want to deboard crew?
Yeah, deboard everybody.
Crew to boarding starting.
Okay, so maybe I wasn't supposed to do...
Pilots to boarding starting.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to do that jetway. Maybe I'm supposed to use this jetway, but I don't know how to use it because I don't have control over it. But it's kind of weird that there's two of them there. There's two of them here too, look. It's weird. See over here? There's two of them. At least they're not intermingled like we are here. All right, what do we got here? We're all unloaded here, so the plane part is okay. We're just waiting for the crew to get out, cargo to be done, and then we're done. Deboarding complete. Okay, deboarding is done. Let's go to ground services and close that. Let's get that out of there. Why is that one? We closed the door. I don't remember whether I was controlling that or not. Aft stairs is right there. It's not supposed to be there. What if I click that? What's going to happen? Nothing? Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it. We're down. We're safe. Flight is done. I hope you had fun. Hope to see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.